What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Mike Nix. Welcome back to Culture Gods, and I'm your host, Mike Nix, the herald of the Culture Gods, of course. Man, I just checked out the first episode of The Penguin. Man, let me tell you something. That this series, just episode 1, just going off of the trailer alone, I knew this was probably going to be fantastic. This shit was going to be fire. Checked out the first episode that just aired, and let me tell you, man, this was good. This was good. Starts out with first of all, the Penguin, played by Colin Farrell, and let's see. Basically, this takes place in modern day Gotham, is what it looks like, because there's cell phones and shit. And unless I missed something, I didn't see like a timestamp of like when this took place or when it started. And I know a lot of the Batman series, especially when it goes back to like old Gotham, where you know where the mob was in charge. A lot of those instances, it's like the 60s or the 70s, you know, or I want to say not even the 70s. I would say like the 50s, you know. And but this looks like it's a modern day Gotham story for real. But basically, it's the origin story of the Penguin and how he started from the bottom. You know what I'm saying? Like your boy Drake started from the bottom. But yeah. So he starts from the bottom. Basically, he has a trap house. It's like a warehouse or something like that. And he's working for the Falcone family. So if you're not familiar with the Batman lore in Gotham, basically the Carmine Falcone is the head of all the mob bosses, right? So he's the OG. And he ends up getting killed. So of course his son takes over. I don't want to spoil, you know, the episode because I want y'all to go and check it out. But I'll give y'all kind of a quick rundown of the episode. And the Penguin basically works for the Falcone family. He's not the Penguin right now. He's just Oz. You know what I'm saying? Oh, Oswald. And, you know, he has some ideas and some plans in mind. Some shit goes awry. And when shit goes left, he runs into, he takes a young kid under his wing, Victor, who is played by, let me get this name right here, y'all, okay? It's Renzi Felice. All right, if I got that wrong in the comment section, go crazy. All right, I'm usually good with names for real. But anyway, he takes him under his wing as his apprentice, basically his little, you know, his right hand man, basically. And they become friends because they realize, you know, they have something in common. They come from the same place. It's like they come from the same neighborhood. Shit's ugly, you know. The kid is still kind of in the slums, and you know, whereas Oz, he made it out the slums in a way, but you know, even though he's got a big ass trap house, he's still kind of under the thumb of the Falcone family, you know. So this kind of sees Oz basically finding, you can see his gears turning, kind of working his way into becoming who will later become the Penguin. You know, there is no mention of Batman in this. There is no mention. I don't think there was a mention of Bruce Wayne or the Wayne family at all, which I love this. I love that this separates, you know, the identity of the Penguin and as a villain, as a character from the Batman story. Because whenever there's a Batman story, any type of, you know, Arkham story or side story or villain story, you know, we never really get to see those characters. You know, we got the Joker, you know, and as far as I'm concerned, I think that's the only, I'm thinking back, I think that's the only real main stories we've gotten. We've gotten Harley Quinn and the Birds of Prey, which was not a great movie at all. Like, I can admit, I love Harley Quinn. Like, as far as female characters in the comic books, she's probably my favorite next to Catwoman. Like, them two are like neck and neck for me, you know. If I had a fantasy threesome with two characters that don't exist, it would be with those two. But anyway, so it's dope that they're actually taking these characters and giving them their own stories. Colin Farrell does an amazing job in this. Of course, the acting is grade A. Shouts out to the production team and whoever does the prosthetics and all the makeup and all that, because man, they transformed him. Like, he is not even recognizable, you know. It's crazy. And he takes on the role 100%. You know, he has a little fucking gimpy limp and everything. The characters that are in the Penguin's world, you know, that he comes across on a daily basis, you know, as he, you know, he's from the trap, he's from the slum, so he's he's got friends, he's got colleagues, he's got people that he's known for years that he comes across that help him along the way. Like, if he needs a little hideout or if he needs a little alibi, so it was really dope to see Oz kind of navigate the streets with his new, right hand, his new little apprentice, took him up under his wing and everything and kind of show him the ropes and talk to him. And, Victor was real hesitant at first. Like he was like, yo, he got caught up doing some shit. Oz was like, hey, yo, you gonna help me out or, I'm gonna lay you out, I'm gonna stretch you out, pause. And after it looks like, Victor kind of thought about it a little bit and, eventually he teams up with Penguin and, we'll see where the story goes. But so far I am highly impressed by this. I've always wanted a really good, I wanted a really good series or movie that really captured the characters of Gotham. We never really get that. We get, we'll get a Batman movie because everybody wants to go see Batman. If he's not on the screen or if he's not popping up making a cameo, we don't give a fuck. But I think we're like way past that point. I think we're at a point now where we can have stories about these other characters and they could be great stories. I'd love to see a world building story the way that Marvel did with the Avengers. We had all these mediocre half-ass, well, I don't say half-ass, but they were mediocre movies, with the Hulk and, Captain America, and Iron Man. And then they were slowly building up towards something. They were going to come together as a collective. And they already did that. They did it first and, you already know the rest. But to see Gotham doing it this way with the different villains, man, if this goes off well and, they get the high enough ratings, which I imagine they will. I think this series is going to be one of the best series on HBO Max. I really do. And that's just off of episode 1. But I'd love to see, a Riddler series. I'd love to see a Joker series, which we all know that may or may not happen. Love to see a Harley Quinn series. And I'd love to see a Harley Quinn series more so because she's my favorite female anti-hero or anti-hero, whatever you call them. Because I don't think she's a villain. Like, because she's got a good heart, at the same time. She's just fucking crazy. Hey, listen, ain't nothing wrong with a little toxic, you know what I'm saying? A little toxic. It's like spice of life, a bitch with some toxicity is cool, But if we get more character development like this, which how this is in the direction this is going, I think we off to a good start. I think the DC universe is going to overtake Marvel at some point. DC did really well in the animated universe. Like their animated movies are just, there's nothing else like them. Anybody that knows what I'm talking about knows what I'm talking about. If you know, you know. But Marvel's beat them at the box office every single time. But I hope that James Gunn's universe and James Gunn's world building style continues in this way, because this is so far really, really good. And the Penguin was never really a character that I give a fuck about as a kid growing up. You know what I'm saying? Like, this nigga got, what is he, a mob boss, but he's fat and short and he got an umbrella, does some cool shit. I thought his umbrella was cool, but they didn't really make him great in Batman Returns with Danny DeVito. I think that's the last time we saw a great Penguin. And that movie was, man, that movie's so cringy when you look back at it. But a lot of movies from the 90s were kind of cringy when you look back on them. But they're cult classics, though. I love Batman Returns simply because it had Catwoman in it. You know what I'm saying? Seeing her in that black latex, man. Oh, my God. Like, even as a kid, I was like, boy, she could get it. Michelle Pfeiffer became the wet dream at that point. You know what I'm saying? In Batman Returns. But anyway, I digress. The Penguin, episode 1, fantastic. Loved it. Fire. I give it 5 flames out of 5 flames. All right. Check y'all in the next video.